just finished a record. It's probably being mixed and mastered as we speak. We just gave the title away in the last interview, so I guess it's cool to use. Name of the record is Absolute Hope, Absolute Hell, and we're expecting a release end of May, beginning of June.
It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It's a little different. A little different, but people who still love Fit will still love Fit for it.
Yeah.
But there's definitely more to it.
I think it's important to realize that this band has never wanted to put out the same record. We did Process of Human Extermination, and from Process of Human Extermination to Hellbound, there was a huge change. It's a completely different record, and from Hellbound to Absolute Hope, Absolute Hell, it's also a big change. It's really important for bands not to recreate the same record, but to stick to what they're good at. And we've grown as a band. Joe is a really good singer. Shane's a great bass player. You know, we all like to play, so we wanted to create something that was fun for us, different, but still what For An Autopsy does. So that's kind of how we ended up here. And, you know, it's important to like what you do.
Oh yeah, still super heavy record. Definitely still super heavy record.
Yeah.
A lot more talent, I feel, comes out from a lot more of the guys in the band now. It's really cool. Definitely super aggressive and very emotional in every aspect. Like either pissed off, angry, or like really upset.
Sad.
Yeah.
I love watching bands progress. Like my favorite bands, I watch like bands that wrote albums. So it was concept after concept, and they just grew as a band. I love watching bands do that, and that's what I think we're trying to do. Like we're not trying to just stick with one thing. We're just a heavy band. I don't think it needs to be like that.
So it comes from all aspects of pretty much everybody in the band. We all do a little bit of writing with each, and everybody has those situations where they're super pissed off and super upset, and the only way to portray that to some people is to write it down. Whether you write it down in a book and it's just a bunch of words and it doesn't make any sense, to where you can form it to where it does make sense, where people can relate to it.
I think also conceptually, For An Autopsy's been pretty strong on writing about humanity and the things that go on about and around us. You know, like person to person things, and then corporation to people things, government to people things, you know, how we treat each other on a day to day, and the darkness that's inside everyone is way scarier than any horror movie that I've ever seen, any demon or dragon or crazy thing you can ever talk about. So like, you know, like Joe said, we all write lyrics, we all do things. I mean, Will Putney is absolutely the main songwriter in the band, and he's very good at what he does. He knows how to make us play better, and we know how to, you know, work with him. So it's a very interesting writing process for us, but lyrically, everybody has the opportunity to, you know, use, write, and work with the lyrics, and it makes it, I think, something that we can all feel attached to as a band. You know, like it's not just one guy writing the lyrics or one guy writing a bass part. It's, hey, what do you think of this? Or, hey, we need lyrics, write lyrics. And then I send it to Will, and he takes an excerpt out of what I write and puts it in the song with something Joe writes and something he writes. And now we're all a part of that song. So it's pretty cool and interesting process. It's hard because we don't always get to jam in the same room and do that whole thing, but it's definitely, as a musician, it's challenging and it pushes you to get better.
It's cool that we all kind of have the same outlook on life, though. We all hate bullshit. So like Will gets it. And he'll write certain things that I'm like, yeah, like I see you on that. That's sick. Yeah, we all get it.
I think it's a good thing, just because like everybody likes to. I know there's good and bad things to it, but the good thing for me, I guess, people can express themselves and write things and brainstorm so much to like portray what they're trying to say to people without doing it in actions.
I mean, the bad aspect on it is people are losing touch with what's real.
Yeah.
So they start that way and then they don't go back to recording or writing the real way. They stick to that, and then everybody's just thinking it's progressing. So everybody's going this way, everyone's getting more digital, everything's getting a little bit more crazy. We still love real tone, real tubes, like real playing, like it's just raw.
Yeah, I mean,
still a fan of it.
There's such an interesting feeling when it comes down to music that's recorded at home because, like, I mean,
but we all do it.
Yeah, we all do it, and we all do that thing. And like, you got a guy like Keith Merrow, who's a buddy of Fit, who like writes these incredible songs and makes it feel organic and spends so much time working on his stuff that it creates music. And then there's other guys that, you know, over edit and over push and fake so many things that it sets this new standard for the way that music is supposed to sound and feel.
You can put numbers. People are writing breakdowns as in just putting random numbers together now.
Yeah.
And they're calling it like polyrhythmic or like gen, and I'm like, you didn't feel that out. Like you just compute like complete like computer.
Yeah. But then you have a band like Meshuggah,
who actually feels it out.
They feel it out.
They're smart, and those guys understand those numbers.
Yeah.
So
it's a 50-50 in my book, you know. Yeah. It's some of it's good, some of it's bad, but in the live aspect of things, that I get disgusted when I think about bands that, you know, we're out there every day trying to play, and if we're sick and we have a bad show, it's because we're really playing, and if we're on point and it's awesome, people are like, oh, what kind of clicks are you using, and how you do it? And we're like, we don't do any of that stuff. And people are, you know, we have sound guys say, you guys are so tight, you sound like it's a click. And then there's some guy that's got his whole set on a computer, you know, and they're cheating it. And to us, like, it's way cooler to have the ability to look at each other on stage and be like, everybody get it that we're gonna play this part slower than because kids are going crazy and that's where it needs to be. Or, you know, let's bang this song and like slam into a fast part. You can't do that if you're on a computer. It's just the same stale set every night. So like bands like AC/DC and like Black Sabbath, and like you watch them live, and even Pantera, like they'll continue doing stuff and make it real cool and throw their instruments in the crowd and then grab them back and then dump into another song. Like the live show is a show, man. It's a fucking show, and you're supposed to be like part of that and create that. And to me, that's what Fit for an Autopsy is live. We're not cheating anything. We're working our asses off to sound good. And when I have a bad night, it's not because the battery on my computer went dead. It's because I'm playing shitty and I need to sit down and go over that with myself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
It's a performance.
And you know what? People pay for that. People come out and pay $20, $30 a ticket to watch a band play. They want a fucking performance, man. You know, they want that. I mean, I remember reading interviews with Meshuggah. Again, I'll mention them because they're one of my favorite bands that still plays for real and sounds like, you know, it's fake. But they said, when I think it was the Obson tour, he was like, we just started using a click because I got bored. You know what I mean? Like, come on, they've been playing without it for that long, and like, you know, they talk about that song Bleed, that riff, like they were saying how it took them months and months to get it tight enough for them to play it live. Like, that's the real shit, dude. Like, Meshuggah, if you see this interview, thank you, you know, because it just gives me hope that more bands will start doing what we try to do. You know, maybe we don't do it as well as Meshuggah, but we're trying to, you know? I got it.
Tim Howley.
It's like a unicorn, man. It's a unicorn.
I don't know. It's fucking weird.
Unicorn, man.
You can get fucked by a unicorn.
You can, yeah.
But we don't fuck things.
I don't know.
I guess like a kraken. Kraken's good. Krakens rip ships in half.
Yeah.
We're fucking aggressive. We like being heavy. And we like making people feel uncomfortable when we play. It's supposed to be scary. Like when we're on stage, one thing that we get a lot is that, Jesus, your band is huge and scary looking.
Just fat.
Yeah, we're a fat band and we like it.
Fat, angry dude.
We're angry. We're like a football team, you know? Like we get on stage, we want people to be taken back. And it's not because we're mean dudes or we want to look mean to people. It's because our music is aggressive.
I play metal for a reason.
Yeah.
Like
I'm angry.
I get pissed off when I'm on stage.
Yep.
Because it does the same thing for me when I was a kid on the other side, smashing people. It's the same reason why I'm up here playing it. So that's just how we come off.
Like-minded people.
Hope people get it.
You know, every one of these dudes gets it. And that's what's awesome about the band.
People who try to be mean on stage and do the weird cheeky thing. And
You can feel it when someone's being
like,
fake mean.
Yeah. Like it's weird to me. Someone trying to act that way.
Yeah.
Just assholes.
Yeah. Yeah. first of all, let me apologize to the people in Perth for us not making it out there. It's so expensive to travel around Australia. It's expensive to get there. If I showed you the money that we spent on plane tickets between Europe and Australia, you'd slap me in the mouth, you know? We're gonna come back. We love Australia. Holy shit. It's the best place on earth. You know? Yeah, unfortunately, Joe didn't get to go, but next time he'll be there. You know? And, dude, yeah, and again, Australia, Europe, everywhere, thank you so much for making those last few tours. We did awesome. And, you know, it's kind of cool to step out of America and get, you know, greeted in such a nice way. And Australia's rad, so we'll be back. I've already gotten it, pretty much. It'd be nice to pay my bills, but I got to hang out with guys that I like every day and play shows, and you know, I get this rush. It's hard. You know, we argue with each other and we have differences of opinions, and you have 5-6 creative people in a van trying to get along all day. That's difficult enough, but the 30 to 40 minutes I get to stand on stage with these fucking dudes and have their spit all over me and fucking beat the shit out of each other, it's the payoff. You know, for me.
I used to work a really good job before I joined the band. I had a really good job.
Me too.
I was making really good money. And, you know, I finally got to a place in my life where I was able to like sustain myself and be an adult. And then this opportunity came around, and I thought about it, and I was like, you know, for 10 years I've been trying to get to this point, and like to where I'm able to play cool shows like this and do cool tours like this. And I was like, you know, if I got to that point, I could do it again if I want to. So if I put my head to it, I can. So I was like, fuck it. How about I just enjoy it, go out and do what I want to do, be broke on the road with these fucking assholes, and have a great time. I love them all. They're all fucking, we're having so much fun. This tour's so sick. Like, yeah. You know, to me, my happiness is worth more than a paycheck. So,
yep. I just always wanted to do what people did for me when I was a kid, watching those bands live. I want to make someone feel what I felt when I was a kid. And it's cool to do that. It's crazy.
I didn't tell you that too.
I think it's important that people who see these interviews and, you know, come to the shows understand that while we are an angry-looking bunch of dudes and we write, you know, music about the shittiest parts of life, like, this is what makes us happy. So everybody that comes to a show, come talk to us, come hang out, come shake my hand, fucking tell me you like my band, and if you don't like my band,
tell me.
Cool. You don't even need to tell me. Thank you for giving us a chance, you know, listening to our record, taking fucking 10 minutes out of your day and going on Facebook and being like, you know, I don't like this band, but that's cool because you gave us a chance, you know. And to me, just having people pay attention, good or bad, is the best part of all this. You know, people give me a lot of shit because, you know, I used to be an asshole. I'm still kind of an asshole, and I've done a lot of shitty things, but this is the most happy I've been in my life, you know, other than my wife giving birth to my son. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. So I want to thank everybody for coming out, Suicide Silence and Immure and Within the Ruins for being on this tour with us, and these dudes for putting up with the shit that comes along with being in a band, because if it wasn't for them and everybody coming to the shows, none of it would matter. And that's where I'm at. So thank you. Suicide or isolation, this is our own, just so we destroy.